Okay, hello everyone. It's Lisa this time from Alissa and Jay. And yeah, I'm the one live streaming today. It's usually Jay who's live streaming related to cameras and microphones and all these tech gear. Well, my topics will, of course, be different. I am going to talk about traveling. And as you can see behind me, there's a website. Actually, this website has yet to be more completed. It's in a very preliminary stage right now. This website is also connected to the other website that Jay has always been presenting in his live stream related to um, cameras and other gear, right, in his tech site. So his tech site is way more established. So as you can see, so there'll be more blogs and articles. In this blog, however, the travel blog, it's still pretty empty right now. It's just one country that I'm done with. So I'm the main person behind the country blogs. So I only have Myanmar right now. Actually, I know that right now, nowadays, there's a lot of news on Myanmar that's not really good, especially with the scam centers happening right now and just government cracking down on these. But the reason why I decided to go with Myanmar first is because that was one of my biggest and honestly one of my best solo backpacking trips, and I really enjoyed the time there. And that was actually back in October 2018, so it was before the coup took over, actually. And yeah, and I'm just going to go through a bit of my trip here. I'll just share my story, like a picture story format, going through the website as well a bit, just to help navigate. Right. So as you can see, my trip duration was 9 days long. I had different types of transportation, including buses. I rented e-bikes, took the boat, and also walked around different places. And basically, if you click here, you can see all the general attractions, what would be covered in the blog. Right. Okay, so there's this overview as well, just a little snapshot on what's there in Myanmar, like the transportation details, living costs, and so on, and also the best time to visit, and like a map of the country and the places covered, as well as the itinerary. Of course, that's the highlight of the page. So we'll start with, of course, Yangon. That's where I landed, which is the former capital city of Myanmar. Also, here I put up a map where I went to different places. Right. So my first destination was just a Kandogi Nature Park. From there, you can see the beautiful Shwedagon Pagoda, which of course is one of the landmarks in Myanmar. So that park was really nice. There was this lake that you can see. Yeah, at that time it was kind of green. I don't know if it's like that all year. And that park also had like a little food market, like street food market, that you can enjoy eating some local food. Speaking of markets, I also went to this, excuse my pronunciation, Bogyok or Bokyok, money to the local currency. Yeah, this is the place to go. It's massive. I obviously didn't cover the entire thing on that day because it would take me all day. Yeah, but it's worth visiting if you have some extra time. Then I went to have lunch at a restaurant called Phil Myanmar. The link is right there. So all the yellow buttons are links to the map, the Google map, right? You can just see where it is. You can see the ratings, right? And the location. So yeah. Of course, what would a trip to Myanmar be without visiting the Shwedagon Pagoda? Of course, that's a must-go place. So, of course, I went there. I actually went there before sunset, and I managed to get some pictures from during the day as well. But I decided to just upload this nighttime picture because it's pretty. I think the golden pagoda is reflecting nicely to the lights, and Yeah, why not? Unfortunately, the time I went was the time they were renovating, so you could see all these like scaffolding and the construction material around it. But it's okay. At least I've been there. Yeah, it's a huge place. You will have to also wear a sarong if you're a lady. If you're wearing shorts or short skirts. If basically your legs are revealing, you have to get changed. Um, I think I just borrowed one from the staff. I don't think I rented one. They just gave me one to wear, and then I had to return it later on. So that's there. Yeah. So just be mindful how you dress. You will have to go there bare feet as well. All the sacred places in Myanmar will have to be visited bare feet. So make sure you also wear, easy to slip in and slip out of shoes like flip flops or some strap sandals. That would help a lot. Okay, and there were places I didn't visit, which I think would be nice to visit if you had even more extra time. Like some other parks like Inya Lake, Inya Park. Didn't go there, but I put up the link there as well, so you can check it out. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for my first day in Myanmar in Yangon, and then I rested at kind of a guest house. I didn't put up the link here because that guest house seems to no longer operate, I think, after COVID-19. So I put up other recommended hotels instead, with different budget ranges. So we have like the budget hostel, we have the mid range, and also the high end hotel. So I have that for every location. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. So you can also visit the National Museum. They also have that there. Another Buddhist temple and another park, Mahabanula Park. So if you have time, you can check it out. Right. And day 2 is the Golden Rock Mountain. There are so many alternate spellings for this. It's just called Kyaiktiyo, but there are like 5 different spellings for Kyaiktiyo. So I just type all the alternatives here. Again, that's not a big of a concern because I have the Google Maps there in the link. Yeah, you'll have to go there by bus and then take the truck at the truck station. So the bus takes you to very, very close to the truck station. It's just walking distance. And at that time, the truck costs 2,500 kyat. I think that's how you pronounce their local currency. 2,500 MMK one way. I forgot the the conversion rate, but it's really not much. It's a really low amount. Yeah, the ride up is a bit crazy. It's quite steep. It goes zigzag and it's very crowded. You will be sandwiched between lots of different people. But the view is nice. The view to the way to the top, on the way to the top is really nice. So, yeah, I think it's a nice thrill if you like that. Okay, and at the top, you will have to walk a bit again to reach the actual temple with the golden rock. Again, I put up the Google Maps there, like the distance, if you were to hike your way up, or if you want to just walk from where the truck parks. Right, you just walk about half a kilometer, half a mile to the Golden Rock. So, unfortunately, again for ladies, we're not allowed to go and touch the rock. We're not allowed to, physically touch the rock. So we can just get close, take photos. That's fine, but only men are allowed to go and touch the rocks. So yeah, that's how it is. Their rules, unfortunately. Anyway, but the view from the top is nice. You can see the lush green jungle around the hills, and there's a lot of space. It's a very spacious place, so you'll have lots of different angles to take pictures from. So that's good. If you're not too familiar with like how to book a bus or what or not, it's fine. You can also book a day tour. There are also some day tours available, and I have the link right here as well. So you can have everything covered, everything taken care of. So yeah, in my case, I just went by myself. I just did my own research, booked my own bus, walked my own way. So I was completely on my own. Yeah. Okay. That's it for day one. I headed back to Yangon, basically. Then I did not stay overnight in Yangon. I was really on a budget. So instead of staying at another hotel, I decided to sleep the night in the bus. And that's the bus to Bagan, again, another popular tourist destination in Myanmar. Um, from there, it took maybe, okay, departed at 7 p.m. and reached at 3 a.m. So yeah, it took around, let me do some math, like 7 hours maybe to 5, 6, 7 hours to get there. They did stop at some food centers just to have late dinner at 10 p.m. And the seats are really nice. You can see in the picture. They're very clean. They even have their neck pillows for us, a blanket. So pretty comfortable. They even have like a leg rest, foot rest there. You can adjust. So it's a pretty modern, nice bus. And that was for 15,000 kyat. Again, I think it's quite affordable. And yeah, really nice. The only downside was reaching there at 3 a.m. in the morning. So that was a bit of a bummer. I was expecting to reach at least 5 or 6 around sunrise. But then it's a blessing in disguise because thankfully the hotel, it's called New Park Hotel. They were nice enough to let me, check in really, really, really early. And I was able to freshen up a bit. And I think actually I didn't like freshen up in the room itself because it's still not my day to check in, but I was able to drop my bags off and I was able to rent the e-bike. Yeah, I just rested a bit, and then around sunrise, I rode my e-bike to some place where it's a good spot for the sunrise view. So, which is actually the spot at the top of this whole article, right? This view here. It's a really nice photo. You can see the river as well as the pagodas and the sun, the beautiful sun ray in the morning shining onto the surfaces. And something I did not mention in this blog was that while I was on the way to that spot, actually I was on the way to some other spot, some random spot. I had no idea. At that time, this local guy saw me, and he was on his bike as well. And just like any tourist attractions, locals would just come up to tourists, say hi, talk, strike up a conversation, and yeah, exactly, that's what he did. And yeah, he was this young guy on the bike, and I think he knew I was looking for some sunrise spots, so he spoke some English. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you want to see sunrise?" I said, "Yeah." And yeah, he said, "I know where to go." And it was a bit scary. I thought, can I trust him? What if he would, take me somewhere? But I was just like, I just followed my guts. I thought, okay, fine. Let's see where he take me, because I was still on my bike. I would just have to follow his bike. Well, indeed, he took me to like a really good spot to see the sunrise. Well, of course, it didn't come out of nowhere for nothing. He told me later he was an artist. Like, he did these sand paintings. When he was on his bike, he had this scroll container on his back. So yeah, I figured he was doing something, and he showed me his art, and of course he wanted to sell. He wanted to sell his art. And I remember fondly that at that time, just as the sun was about to rise, I realized that my camera, at that time I used Fujifilm, ran out of battery. And I told him, "Oh no, my camera's out of battery." And my phone was really horrible at the time. It was just maybe iPhone 6 or iPhone 4. I don't remember, but it was not a good phone to take sunrise photos. So I said, oh no, my battery's gone, done, dead. So he was like, oh, okay, then now what? I said I had to charge my battery no matter what. I wanted to get this photo from my proper camera. And yeah, he actually uh, went out of his way to help me go back to my hotel and get my, actually not to charge the battery, but get a replacement. And then we came all the way back again to the sunrise spot, and that's when I managed to take the photo. And at that point, I thought, you know what? I didn't intend to buy the art at first, but he was doing so much for me that I thought, fine. I bought his art. I think I bought it for 30,000 kyat. I don't know how much that was, but I later figured out that in other places they sold the same sort of art for maybe half the price. So I was like, okay, never mind. He did more than just selling his art, right? He helped me with finding a nice spot, going all the way back to the hotel just to get my battery. So I was like, okay, fine. It's like for his time, energy, and fuel, whatever. So yeah, and that was it. I never seen him again. I bought his art, and that's it. Yeah, very nice place. You can also see hot air balloons there. They have these services as well. I did not get onto one. I think I just didn't have the budget for that. And yeah, it's fine. I had other nice viewpoints, so that's fine. And I explored other places during the day. Yeah, as you can see. Okay, and around sunset time, I also took a boat on the Irrawaddy River, which was really nice because there you could see the sunset. You could just take lots of pictures, and the lake was huge, like really, really big. Unfortunately, just an interesting fact, there are not many Irrawaddy dolphins remaining. They are endangered, so that's a really sad thing. So hopefully there will be some more conservation efforts. Yeah. Right, and after the sunset, I went to Shwezigon Pagoda, which is another big, beautiful, golden, shiny pagoda, stupa, whatever you call it. Yeah, this thing is the stupa, this triangular golden piece. I was lucky that time that it was not under renovation like Shwedagon. So yeah. Good. Oh, I saw someone coming in the chat. Yeah, Sake. Yeah, hi. It's my first time live streaming, so I'm sorry if it's a bit, a bit awkward. Right, and so that's it. I spent the night in Bagan. I was exhausted. Yeah, because I couldn't sleep that well on the bus that arrived at 3 a.m. in the morning. So. Yeah, and the next day I went to Mount Popa, which is just outside Bagan. I booked a day tour. So that one had to be with a group, just a day tour with other tourists. So that was nice as well. They stopped by this candy shop with this super cute cow or water buffalo. Just walking around in circles, trying to extract this peanut oil. Yeah, I feel kind of bad. It's like a slave. But yeah, it was so cute. I was touching that wobbly thing that's hanging down the neck. It's so soft, like super soft. Yeah, it was it's just so cute. So they were basically demonstrating how they made these candies, and they have different flavors of those local candy. It was really sweet. I think it's kind of made of maybe palm sugar or something like that. They gave us some samplers. It was nice. Very interesting. So that was just a quick stop. And then 30 minutes later, we reached the village at the base of Mount Popa. So that picture you can see at the very top is Mount Popa. It takes 777 steps to climb all the way up to the top. And yeah, you had to go bare feet. Some parts were not so clean. There were always people who were sweeping and mopping and trying to clean as much as possible, but unfortunately, there's so many monkeys that just made messes, like big messes there. So sometimes you gotta be careful, watch your step, and not step on something dirty. Yeah. Um, yeah, so along the way, you see a lot of these signs. I think these are signs from people who donated money to get this place built and maintained. And yeah, at the top, it's super beautiful, very green, very similar to the Golden Rock view. You see this like a little village and then just green hills all around. So very worth it. I think it was really nice. So it says from arriving at the village to going up and down took around 1.5 hours, so not too long. The steps were not too steep, so it was really manageable. They have hand railings, so you can always pull yourself up if needed. And yeah, they didn't rush us at all. We had plenty of time. In fact, when I went all the way back to the parking lot where we got dropped off, I was just there for quite some time before heading back to Bagan. Right. So that was day 4. And yeah, the night of day 4 was not spent in Bagan. Again, it was spent on a bus. Again, super broke, had to just sleep in a bus. So, and I don't know what's up with buses in Myanmar, but they leave on time, which is good. They're very punctual, but then they always reach at 3 a.m. or, yeah, just a very difficult time. Yeah. So I reached at around 3:30 a.m. and I remember I met this French couple on the way, well, in the bus, but on the way we were having a chat. And when we arrived, there were already some businesses setting up their shops or starting to prepare whatever it was, right? Whether it's food or shops or whatnot. And the moment we got off the bus, there were already a bunch of guys coming up to us to offer their boat tours. They would all come up and be like, boat tour? What? We were like, no. I remember the French lady was like, I don't want boat. I want bed. So yeah, that gave me a chuckle. Yeah, we were exhausted, all of us. And of course we said no. We just walked. Yeah, we actually walked from the bus station to our hotels. It was a small town, a small little town, and as you can see on the map, and our accommodations were all just within 1 or 2 kilometers, so it was all walkable, and I also walked. So yeah, and again, hotel staff are really nice and very accommodating, and again, I could freshen up a bit. I stayed at Manatuka Hotel, and they're still operating. Now they're really good. I remember I remember requesting for a bolster when I booked the place. To my surprise, they did arrange a bolster. I was so impressed. Yeah, they're really, really nice. They're really thoughtful. Yeah. So that was a lovely experience at the hotel. They also have breakfast. Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah. Good. And yeah, you can see, I think I was given this map maybe at the hotel. I'm not sure, honestly, but you can see the map here. I don't know if anything has changed because it's been 7 years now, so maybe the map looks different today. So yeah, but just a good reference. Of course, I went to Nyongshui. This place is called Nyongshui, and that's where the Inle Lake is. And that's the highlight. So you can see it's really beautiful. The lake is so blue and huge. And of course, their highlight is the boat tour, which I declined at first because I was too exhausted. But of course, later I was like, okay, I want to go on a boat tour. Now I'm ready to travel. So yeah, I booked one, and they took us around the lake and saw lots of interesting things, like how locals went fishing. Like this man here, they had some like special equipment, special way of fishing. It's really unique. And they took us to some shops like textile shops, silversmiths, and restaurant as well for lunch. Right. So yeah, there were some tribal people there as well. And oh yeah, people making cheroot, which is yeah, local inexpensive handmade cigars. Yeah, so a lot of these ladies were rolling up the cheroot, and they also demonstrated how they use the lotus thread to make their clothes in their textile workshop, which is really interesting. It's a huge, massive workshop with tons and tons of these weaving equipment. Yeah, very nice. And for lunch, I went to the Hnin Titsar Inlet traditional restaurant. It wasn't my choice to go there. The boat took us there, so we had to eat there. Unfortunately, apparently that place is a bit overpriced. Yeah, it was a bit, touristic. So they set the price for tourists. So, yeah, reviews are not so good in terms of pricing, but taste wise, it was okay. As you can see, right, the portion size was not that big. Yeah. Um. Anyway, it's just, I guess, part of the whole tour. But of course, you had to pay for your own lunch. That's not included. Eh. All right. And then after that, they dropped us off at Shui in Dane Pagoda. And that place had tons and tons and tons of stupas. Like, wherever you look at, it's just stupas poking out everywhere. So, yeah, that was an interesting sight. Yeah, sometimes I wonder like what the significance are or like why so many and if there are any meanings behind, but there were no tour guides to explain anything. So we were just dropped there and they were like, okay, go inside, have a look, enjoy, and come back here at this and that time or come back in 30 minutes or something like that. So yeah, we were just free to roam around and we did, took photos and went back. That's really good. And yeah, I stayed the night at Nyongshui. I also have some recommended hotels here. Of course, that includes the one I stayed at, which was really nice. So yeah, go ahead and book from these links. Yeah, these links head straight to Agoda, which is one of the biggest hotel booking sites. Right, we're like around more than halfway through now, so let's continue our day with day 6, wine tasting at Aitaya Vineyard Cheonggi. Yeah, Cheonggi. So actually, I went to 2 wineries. One was the Red Mountain Estate, and the other one was the Aitaya Vineyard. And unfortunately, I think when I went to the Red Mountain, I think it was closed or something. It was just so quiet. There was nobody there. I tried looking around and okay, looks abandoned. So I went to the other one instead. So how I got there, I just booked tuk-tuk actually. I made friends with another girl in that boat trip, so we decided to go ahead and go to these vineyards together on a tuk-tuk. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, you can see links as well. Like I put the links of the maps for both places. Both are still operating, so it's not like Red Mountain was like closed down or anything like that. No. Maybe just that day they were closed, so you can still go and check it out. Yeah. And so we decided to go to the IITR one instead, which was open, had people, and we basically had a little tour around their brewery, winery, and we had some wine tasting as well with lunch. We had steak and yeah, it was nice. It was a very nice experience, and the landscape was breathtaking, really beautiful. So it was a very relaxing afternoon. Yeah. Then yeah, we took the tuk-tuk back to Yangshui, and from there I took the bus to Mandalay, which is like the last major city I went to in Myanmar. Yeah. Right. So from Mandalay, you can see there are a few places you can go to. Right. So this big city on the right side is basically Mandalay, and then on the left is just mostly nature and some small villages. So you can go to all these places I pinned. So I stayed at the place called Hotel Boss, which was, again, I reached at 4 a.m. Oh my goodness. I always reach a new place at that time. Yeah, 3:30, like 3:30 and 4 a.m. That's just a thing, right, with Myanmar buses. Yeah, and I think, again, I walked to the hotel just by myself in the middle of the night. Um, Honestly, every time I walked, I felt pretty safe. I didn't feel paranoid or anything. It was okay, just walk by yourself at night. Like, no, there was no stalker or anything. I mean, at least that at that time, like 7 years back. And reached the hotel, and I remember when I opened the door. So they have this glass door that like the two glass doors that you can push into, and the receptionist was sleeping, and at the door they placed this empty can of Coke. And basically, when I opened the door, that can of Coke would drop on the floor like an alarm to wake the receptionist up. So, so I woke him up, yeah, and yeah, he checked me in, and again, I freshened up and took the opportunity to see Ubain Bridge during sunrise. To get there, I rented a bike and I just biked there and got there just on time. Like, it was perfect timing. 6:30 a.m. To see the sunrise. Bridge, sorry for bridge. Ubain Bridge gets really, really busy, especially during the day. There will be tons and tons of people walking over this teak wood bridge. Yeah, it's actually the longest uh, teak wood bridge in the world. So yeah, it's a landmark basically. Yeah, and I think, yeah, getting there early in the morning is good because it would still be quite empty. You see this beautiful sunrise, and yeah, you have plenty of time to cross the bridge, yeah, and come back again, and still have a lot, of the rest of the day ahead of you. So yeah, here are some pictures you can enjoy. I saw some locals doing their daily things, like on the boat, fishing, and what else? Yeah, there was this lady also who was in the river. Like, half of her body was in the river. She was catching some shrimp or something like that. So it was interesting to see what they were doing. Yeah, and then I basically moved to the next place. I went to this Sagaing Bridge. This bridge would cross to the opposite side where Sagaing Hill is. Again, this bridge goes over the Irrawaddy River, so the same river I was on when I was in Bagan. Yeah. So off I went to the other side, and I biked my way up Sagaing Hill. So you can see these green areas with stupas, right? So basically, it's right there at the tiny corner on the right side of the bridge picture. Yeah, I mean, it's just a nice ride around the greenery, but there really was nothing much around there. It's just stupa here, stupa there, just same but different. Yeah, basically that. And okay, once that was done, oh, and I also got lost a bit as well. I wanted to go to some specific place, but I just could never reach there. I tried to ask locals for directions, but they couldn't speak any English. And no matter what I tried to show them on my phone or whatever I tried to say, it just didn't work. So, but they were nice. Like, they were smiling and like, they're really cute. But they couldn't help. So never mind. So I headed back to another place across the river. This place was called Inva, and Inva is a little village with a lot of ancient landmarks. So Inva has these places, right? Like a brick monastery, a tower, maybe like a watchtower, yeah, a pagoda complex, another monastery, and an archaeological museum. So that was nice. To get to, oh, I totally forgot actually to mention one thing. If you want to enter Bagan or Mandalay archaeological site or Inva archaeological site and all these places, they charge a ticket to enter. I think the tickets are like 15 or 20,000 kyats, at least 7 years ago. It's a mandatory thing. You just have to pay money, get this ticket, and you should keep the ticket. Always keep the ticket while you're roaming around, because some of these tickets will be useful for entering museums, for example, without paying extra. So it's kind of like a ticket for your museum or a ticket to enter some monasteries and pagodas without paying extra. So yeah, okay, fine. If it's for maintenance and whatnot, then it's fine. Yeah. It's not that expensive either, so that's okay. Maybe that was around, let me do a bit of math. I suck at math. Like $3 or $4, maybe. That's it. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, so let's see. Somehow I got to cross the little river. I think it was Matinge River with the bike. I don't even know how. I forgot. I'm sorry. I really forgot how I managed to see those people, ask them to cross and get the bike crossed. I don't even know if or whether I paid for that. So, but it was nice of them to get my bike across the river. Yeah, for this archaeological site, it was 10,000 kyats. Yeah. Uh-huh. Good. And yeah, so basically you'll see some like pagoda complexes like Gandana Sinme. Again, Sinme has different spellings, so just be wary of that. Yeah, some other places with historical significance. And the thing is, this place was struck by a big earthquake as well. And some places were rebuilt and others were just destroyed, or there was a lot of history of destruction and rebuilding, which you can read more about in the blog. And this was one of my favorite places in Inwa. It's the Mahaangye Bonzan Menu Brick Monastery. Looks quite ancient from the outside, like with a lot of discoloration. On the inside, oh, I did not have any inside photos, but on the inside, it's you can see some cracks around the wall, and but it was so white and so bright. Yeah, I wouldn't imagine it to look like that inside by looking at it from the outside. So never judge a book by its cover. Yeah. Then I think the last place was like the archaeological museum. So I used that ticket that I paid for initially to enter this place. Photos were allowed, so you can take as many pictures as you want. They basically have a lot of Buddha statues, some images of like the past, and yeah, it was a lovely museum that you can walk around. Yeah. Also, if you don't want to walk around much or you didn't rent a bike to get there, you can also rent horse carriages. Yeah, they have some horse cart rides for 10,000 kyats as of 2018. Today the price might be higher now, but 2 people can take this horse carriage and go around the places. Yep. Then I headed back to Mandalay City. I mean, in Mandalay itself, there wasn't too much to explore. So I just checked out the malls. So I went to Mandalay Yatana Mall Skywalk, and there wasn't much. From the front, it looks colorful and bright and nice, but inside, I would say just maybe the first couple floors had shops and a bit of life, but the rest of the floors were just dark and closed and yeah, pretty abandoned. Kind of sad. Yeah, and on the ground floor there were a bunch of kids performing some K-pop dance, which was really cute. Yeah, it's nice that they have some events going on. Yeah, and then I stayed the night at Mandalay. And again, I have some hotel recommendations there. Yeah. Right. The next morning was all about Minkun. So I went to Minkun, which is also across the river, more like to the western side. So Saging was just like west, like straight west, but this one was like northwest. So again, had to take a boat. So I rode my bike to the Mingun jetty from Mandalay side, and there I had to pay 5,000 kyat for a return ticket, which was really is a good deal, really affordable. And yeah, you can see this is what the jetty looks like. Just a bunch of boats, lots and lots of boats. So just look out for that. Talk to someone who looks like a boat guy. I mean, I don't know, just someone who's at the boat. Yeah, just go and talk to them. Say, okay, Minkun, and that's it. You take the boat, get there. You can see the big landmark from afar already. So, yeah, and this also was unfortunately struck by an earthquake back in 1838. You can see lots and lots of cracks here at the Mingun Padogadi. I struggle with the names. But yeah, Minkun Padogadi, which is a really massive, huge temple. Basically, it's a temple. You can go inside, but again, you have to remove your shoes to get in. So it's a bit of a hassle. Some people were just like, ugh, okay, I don't want to remove my shoes. I'm just gonna not go inside. I think I was one of them. I just took some pictures from the outside. Yeah, and it was really hot as well. So didn't want to spend too much time out there. Then a quick 5 to 10 minute walk. I reached Minkun Bell, which is a very interesting piece of antique. Yeah. It's made of bronze. It was completed back in 1810, so like really early 19th century. It weighs like 90,718 kilos. I'm sorry I did not convert that to pounds, but it's really heavy, obviously. And you can go underneath it. You can see what it looks like inside. I was always scared, okay, what if like the thing drops down just when I would go down, like I would be crushed. But yeah, it was pretty well secured. You could see a lot of graffiti inside, a lot of writings, like especially love couples. Yeah. And yeah, that's it. You can see some rust and some oxidization and whatnot. It was just a very colorful sight in there. Yeah. And then another 5-minute walk. So all these places are really close to each other, just 5-minute walking distance from one place to the other. I'm going to actually my favorite place in Minkun, which is the name is not my favorite, but yeah, it's Sinbyume Pagoda, I think, or Myatindan Pagoda, yeah. And it's basically a white temple. It's just so white. And that day, the weather was so nice. So the sky was so deep blue, and I just love the contrast between the sky and the white temple. It's just so nice. People were just all over the place. You could walk on all these steps, and you can go all the way up. You can go inside. You can walk around. You can climb this and that. There was really nobody there to stop you. So yeah, a lot of tourists were just all over the place posing. Yeah, it's nice. From the top, you can also see the view of that first place. I forgot the name. Mingun Patodogi. You can see like a view of that from the side of the Sinyumi pagoda. Yeah. And around it's just green. Yeah, I think I have a photo of it, but I didn't put it up here. Sorry. Yeah, I think I'll probably add that in a bit. Yeah, and then on the way back, just approximately 30-minute walk to the Mingun Jetty. You can also check out this giant lion stones. At first, I thought it was an elephant. It kind of looks more like an elephant to me, but apparently it's a lion. Fine. That's also where the bathroom is if you need to. It's free of charge. Yay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then went back to Mingun. Went back to Mandalay. And then yeah, that was the end of the day almost. You can also book a day tour if you want to have everything arranged for you, right? Maybe if you want a tour guide as well, you can use this link to book a tour. Yeah, and it was almost the end of the day. It was sunset. So there in Mandalay, I actually met up with that same girl whom I met at Inle Lake. Yeah, we parted ways and then we met again in Mandalay. And we decided to check out this waterfall that she told me about. And we each had our own bike. So we went ahead to that waterfall. But it turned out that there was no waterfall. I don't know what she found, but we went all the way to some farm and we asked some locals again, waterfall? We showed pictures, nothing. They had no idea what we were talking about. So we just ended up at some random farm and we kind of got stuck because there was no way we could keep on going. So we headed back and, well, on the way back, we had to go up the highway, the Pin Ulwin Highway. Thankfully, it's a very beautiful highway with a sunset viewpoint. So instead of seeing a waterfall, we saw the sunset instead from the highway. That highway is a bit mountainous. You have to take a lot of turns and curves to go up to the top and then go back down. And thankfully, in one of those curves, they have this extra space for bikes and cars to park just to enjoy the view. So we did that, and that's the picture of the sunset. You can also see the, I think a lake or a river there in the middle. Yeah. And of course, after a long, exhausting day, we had to eat delicious food. And one of the most famous and popular local restaurants there is called Mingalabar, which also means hello in Burmese. Mingalabar. They offer authentic Burmese cuisine. As you can see, they had rice with like shrimp, some peanuts, some vegetables, soup, pastes, and so on. Yeah. So like mixing them was really nice. It was a lovely combination. Yeah, I generally really enjoyed the food there on all these different days I was there. Yeah, I remember coming back down from the Golden Rock. I was starving. I was so hungry that I went to this tiny, tiny local place and I just pointed whatever I saw because I couldn't communicate with them. I just pointed. They, put everything on the plate. And I was eating like crazy, so crazily that the kid stopped playing and just stared at me with their mouths dropped. The guy who was smoking his cigarette just froze. I mean, everyone just froze and looked at me, like this tourist eating like crazy. So I remember that. It was just a funny sight to see that I don't think I will ever forget. Yeah, that was my second last day, and the final day was at Mandalay Hill and Palace. So, of course, here in Mandalay, you have to check out Mandalay Hill and the Palace, at least these two. Again, I have all the attractions here in the bullet points with the links to the places on Google Maps. And you have to pay 10,000 kyat for the Mandalay Archaeological Zone. Again, you're gonna keep it because you're gonna need it for the rest of the trip, for the palace, for example. Yeah, and from the top, you can basically oversee the entire Mandalay city, a panoramic view of it, 360, along with the river as well. Yeah. To go up to the summit, there are two ways. You can either walk 1,729 steps, where there are like lots of masonry seats available every now and then. And you can enter from two different ways. The southern stairway seems to be the main entrance because you can see two giant Leogryphs, or half lion, half dragon guardian deities there. So you can enter from there. Actually, for me, I exited there. I entered from somewhere else. I don't really remember. It's just somewhere random. Or maybe that southeastern stairway, maybe I entered there. Apparently, that's a more rewarding route with beautiful views, but more strenuous if you walk there. Yeah. I think I took number 2, actually, a one-way motor road, which saves a lot of time and energy. I remember not really being exhausted going up there. I just biked to a certain point. Then I took the stairs, and I was very soon at the top. So, yeah, it was very accessible. um, and you can even use escalators and a lift. They have escalators and lifts, so it's really accessible. I don't remember using any lifts or escalator. So for me, it was just walking up the stairs. Yeah, and it's really beautiful. You see a lot of these writings on the wall, on the surfaces. I wish I knew what they all meant. It's really, really symmetrical. So if you love symmetry, then this is really one of the best places to see symmetry. And yeah, this is one of the upper floors, almost at the top. Yeah, I don't know if I don't think I took photos from the very top out. I guess these are all the pictures I had. But yeah. Then I went down and I went to the Kutodo Pagoda, which has 729 stupas. I thought already that place at Inle Lake had so many, but nope, this has more. So if you see this place from the top, it's just lots and lots of stupas sticking out. Yeah, it's a huge place, and it received a UNESCO plaque as well as part of a cultural heritage. And there is where I got my first ever Tanaka powder on my cheek. So yeah, it smelled really nice. It felt really refreshing. So it's basically how do I explain this? It's made of wood, and actually I explained everything there on the website. Yeah, it's just a paste, yeah, from a wood that gives you this antiseptic, antifungal, anti-aging, cosmetic, insect repellent, and sun protection traits. So yeah, it's really nice, and it's definitely one of the identities of Myanmar. Like a lot of local Myanmar people have these on their faces, and this is one of my recommended souvenir gifts if you go to Myanmar and you want to get something back home. Then this would be a really nice souvenir gift. They do have some commercial packaged Tanaka powder. You just have to mix it with water and then paste it on your face. Very simple. Yeah, so she made this leaf art on my cheeks. Yeah, that was nice. And you can even make your own there at that temple by grinding the wood. Yeah. Yep. And then from there, just walking distance, is the Sandamuni Pagoda, but I didn't go there because it was very similar. Yeah. Then I went to these two places instead. The Shenandoah Buddhist temple. I talk too much, so this happens. So Shenandoah Buddhist Temple and Atumashi Monastery. These are literally just across each other, so they're very close by. The Shenandoah Buddhist Temple is a wooden temple. So it's got lots of wood carvings, Buddha statue inside. It's ancient. It's really old. It was finished in 1880, so it's definitely very old. Yeah, like at least 100 plus years old. Yeah. Then on the opposite side, just across the street, is the Atomashi Monastery. Here you can go inside, and it's just a huge hollow place. The ceiling, I think, is the most interesting part, because the rest of the place is just pretty much empty. There's just one Buddha statue and then a little table with a whiteboard or something like that. So yeah, it's the ceiling that really caught my eyes. Yeah. Nothing much there. And then of course the final highlight would be the Mandalay Palace, which was huge. It's what you would see from almost every angle if you're in Mandalay, because you would see this huge square fence around the palace. So that's what it is. Again, you can use your ticket that you paid for initially to enter this place. You can also book like a half-day tour, a full-day tour that would include all the places, including the ones I skipped. And that's it. So at the Mandalay Palace, I remember seeing, again, it's just like a museum, right? So I saw displays, I saw different rooms, like the bedroom and some Buddhist rooms and things like that. Yeah, just lots of display rooms. Yep, that's basically my 9-day trip in Myanmar. I went to Mandalay Airport to head back to Bangkok. So I basically went from Bangkok to Yangon, and then Yangon to the Golden Rock to Bagan, then Inner Lake, yeah, Nong Shrey, then Mandalay, Minkun, Inwa, and from there back to Bangkok. So yeah, that was my 9-day solo backpacking Myanmar trip. I hope you enjoyed my story. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to comment, ask questions, and check out the website. Yeah, for more details, you can see more. I'm really sorry that the website is kind of empty. It's just Myanmar right now that's there. I have Brunei as well, but Brunei is not really complete yet. This will come later. I only have a couple days done so far without any pictures yet. So I have yet to add pictures and all the rest of the details. We're still working on the website. We try to make it as efficient as possible. So please give us some time. Yeah, because I'm also doing other jobs that actually pays. So I'm pretty busy with my freelancing work. But when I do have time, I will work on the blogs more, and I'll also add other countries. Like I will add Thailand, I'll add India, other countries around the world, like Switzerland, Luxembourg, whatever. Because I've been to like 36 countries, so there will be at least 36 countries there on the website. It'll take some time though. Yeah, good. If you're happy with today's session, if you appreciate our work, feel free to also buy us a coffee. The link is right there in the website and also on our YouTube channel, just so that we get a bit of motivation, a bit of energy to keep on creating our content. Well, thank you very much for today. It's really nice having this live stream for the first time by myself. And also have a nice rest of the weekend. Thank you very much and goodbye.